Hello, darlings. I am Cassandra. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for coming. For those of you who are new to my channel, child, let me introduce you to the Jungle Beauty Goddesses, the life-size fabric sculpture dolls you see sitting behind me. I created these dolls myself, and as I was sewing them, child, they would not stop talking to me, and this led to my Jungle Beauty Goddess book series and my Jungle Beauty Goddess Oracle deck that I am going to use to give you a message today about deal breakers. The first card I have for you is from Jungle Beauty Goddess Afar. And Jungle Beauty Goddess Afar's message to you is use your imagination. The next card I have for you, darling, is from Jungle Beauty Goddess Katara. And Jungle Beauty Goddess Katara's message to you is don't take your physical experience for granted. The next card I have for you is from Jungle Beauty Goddess Kalahari, who represents our heart chakra. And Jungle Beauty Goddess Kalahari's message is love is an action that speaks clearly, boldly, and unapologetically. The next card I have for you is again from Jungle Beauty Goddess Kalahari. So we put it as some strong heart energy, child. We're talking about matters of the heart today. And Jungle Beauty Goddess Kalahari's message to you is, how do you feel about it? Oops. Your feelings matter. Okay, so what comes to me about this particular hand is that in order to, how do I say this? Let's say there is a couple and one person wants to have a baby and another person doesn't want to have a baby. To me, I think that this card here, don't take your physical experience for granted. I think sometimes humans forget that they have biological clocks, that, we are multi-dimensional beings, meaning that, I know we talk about things like, oh, time doesn't exist and we can do whatever we want. Sure, you can. But if you are a woman and you want a baby and your husband does not want to have a baby, and you know that your biological clock is ticking, then to me, I don't want to break anybody up, but I feel like if a baby is something you want passionately and your mate doesn't want it, and you're really honest with yourself, because this is what this hand is about. It's about, how do you feel about it? Your feelings matter. How do you feel about it, child? You understand what I'm saying? What are your true feelings? What's in your heart? Because in your heart, when you turn 75, and if you did not pursue having a baby, even though, it's something that you truly wanted with every piece of your soul, and now you're 75 years old and you don't have kids, you're going to resent your spouse. You're not going to be happy with yourself. Listen, I have friends right now who are like me, almost in their 60s. They don't have kids. They didn't have kids because, we were in graduate school. We were all super ambitious. And they said it's one of their biggest regrets to this day. So don't take your physical experience for granted. To me, is a card that's telling somebody today that you do have a biological clock, and that clock is ticking. And we there are certain windows of opportunity that are optimal for certain behaviors. Like, we know that if a person is wants to be an Olympian athlete, that usually they start around the age of 3. Now, I'm not a dream killer. If you're 85 right now and you want to learn ballet and you want to learn how to be a gymnastics so you can be in the next Olympic coming up, I'm never going to be the person to tell you can't do it, okay? Go for it. But realistically speaking, for most of us mortals, there is a biological time clock. We have a certain amount of time to do certain things, and during a certain period, it's an optimal period that gives us the best chance for survival and to have the physical and psychological resources that we need to enjoy the thing that we, like if you want to have a baby, of course you can have a baby, but Are you going to, let's say you're 70 years old, are you going to really enjoy getting up in the middle of the night at 70? Do you know what I'm saying? So the most important message that I'm receiving from this particular hand is to get in contact with your heart, right? To be in alignment with the truest desires of your heart. What are your feelings, child? Because your feelings matter. How do you feel about it? Because your feelings matter. And get honest and get real. And you go to your mate and you say, hey, look, I can't take my physical experience for granted. I only have a certain amount of time on this planet. And there are certain things that I need to do to take advantage of my youth. And I really do want to have a baby. And so you go to your spouse and you say, hey, can we put together a timetable? Is there something we can do? Because otherwise, I think that I don't know. I just kind of feel like you should think about how you're going to feel about that decision at 75. If you're going to be 75 years old and you're with the love of your life and you say, hey, I choose you, and you're not going to feel any resentment towards that person, because again, what did you do? You got in contact with your feelings. And also, love is an action that speaks boldly, clearly, and unapologetically. This means that you are in alignment with your heart. You know what you want, and you know that you wouldn't want to sacrifice that person to have a kid. But to me, how do I say this? You have to get honest with yourself. You have to make a decision that is in alignment with the truest expression of love that feels authentic to you. You know what I'm saying? The truest expression of love that is authentic to you, that is what this particular reading is asking. And then you need to go about the action that is going to bring that dream to fruition, bring whatever it is you want. When we use our imagination, when you use your imagination and you think about what you want, because we're talking about our third eye here, and you think about what it is that you really want to acquire, accomplish, achieve in this lifetime, and you think about your physical body, like let's say you want to be a supermodel and you're like 4 feet 5 inches. I still think you could be a model, but anyway, and and let's say you are 65. You're 4 feet 5 and you're 65 and you want to be a supermodel. I'm not saying you can't do it. Listen, to me, this is a hand about looking at your life, looking at your resources, getting honest with yourself, and making the hard decisions. Use your imagination to envision the best life possible. And then connect that vision to your heart and go about planning your life accordingly. And I feel like, and I can be a very selfish person sometimes. If you want something and you know that your heart, like when you think about it, you can be unapologetic about it. You can take action about it and feel good about your decision. That's a good thing to do. You have to do it because you cannot take your physical experience for granted. And even though I do believe we have multi-lifetimes and we come around, over and over again, but we come around like in a new body, in a new role, a new time period. We don't come back to this life with these friends and these circumstances. This particular role that we're playing, this is a one-time deal. So I feel like don't take the breath in your body for granted. Don't take your youth for granted. Don't take your health for granted, okay? If there is something you want, I don't care if it's, joining a track team or having a baby, but the biology of being a human is a time factor. And we have to look at our imagination. We have to, align with our truth. Like, the life that we vision, the vision that we have for our life. We have to look at ourselves and say, okay, this is the life that I see for myself, and I I need to make decisions that are going to help me, acquire the things I want, because I only have a certain amount of time to do it. I'm not going to make this long. I'm not going to make it complicated. Don't take your physical experience for granted. I don't care if you're in a relationship and you want to get married and that person doesn't, scram. If you want a baby and that person doesn't, scram. If you want to move to Timbuktu and that person wants to move to Atabadaba, scram. Because the time that we have right now is a very precious time. Get in contact with your feelings, baby. Look at your vision for your life and make the appropriate decision. I really hope this video helps someone. Thank you so much for watching. And I look forward to seeing you, darling, in the next video.